Hello dear viewers, and welcome back to the Musings of Maverick channel. I'm your host Maverick, where we continue our journey on the quite interesting road of Steinsgate with episode 10. So, last episode, a lot of things that I was touching on finally came into play. You know, the butterfly flaps its wings. We got actual consequences now of changing the past, right? Because it keeps, small changes keeps culminating over and rolling like a snowball, grows bigger and bigger. Small changes can grow bigger and bigger until it eventually affects everything you know about the present day, right? So apparently from last episode, Akihabara is no longer a place of ACG culture, if you will. It reverted back to its original status, which is that of a Denki district, a place where they sell a lot of electrical appliances, electronics, yada yada yada. And that is what Akihabara originally was in real life as well. It's just a center with a lot of electronics there, and so it's a popular place for nerds and geeks. And that is why eventually, ACG culture took root there, because as it turns out, people who like to tinker with electronics also like, games and stuff, right? Who knew? So anyways, I'm assuming it's because the message that Ferris sent back, I guess maybe she kind of regrets becoming the face of Moe in her original timeline, although she seemed to like that role pretty much, so I don't know, it'll be interesting to see her thought process. And I do believe that, okay, they will probably try and revert the past again, probably by sending some other males back, right? Some other D-males back. And, oh, by the way, and because of last episode, I was finally able to get a working framework of how this anime operates in terms of its time travel. Right now, my theory is that there's one main timeline, one original timeline, right? One true timeline, if you will, and everything is just a deviation of that. So perhaps it's possible to get back to the original timeline? Question mark. We'll see, right? And also, I know a lot of you guys, or well, maybe quite a few of you guys have been asking in regards to my subtitles, right? So again, I'm using the Why Not fan subs because, well, I dug around and apparently most people that I saw having this kind of subtitle discussions consider the Why Not subs to be the best around. So that is the one that I chose to use. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find any of the raw subtitle files, so only hard-coded versions exist. So that's why I'm using this current version as I see today. Otherwise, I would have just used the subtitles and, add them later as a subtitle file. But in any case, if you guys do believe that there's an even better version of subtitles out there, do let me know. I am willing to go around and find out, because I actually care about this a lot. I care about accurate subtitles. So far, for me personally, it's been okay. Maybe it's because I also understand a bit of Japanese. I am learning it. But again, if there are recommendations, do tell me. So, enough of the recap. Let's just get into the episode. Alrighty, and beginning in 3, 2, 1... play. Culture of Moe. I mean, can you really say ACG culture is Moe? Hey, I know some of those shops. Animate, gamers. They're all merchandise stores and whatnot. Oh, even May Queen is gone. Ah. Hmm. So did she put it like in another city? Or did she just not like her former self? August 8th around noon. Why is that satellite still there? And they're just eating now. Potato ramen?
池袋でライネットの大会があった日、お昼に食べたじゃがバタラーメンのせいでお腹壊して、僕がリタイアして、それで代わりにオカリンとマユシが参戦して、その時の対戦相手がフェイリスタン。オカリンたちは惨敗したんだけど、その時からマユシとフェイリスタンはお友達になったんしょ。なるほど。見て見てルカちゃん、昨日中野で買ったレイヤーさん写真集。過去は変わっても。
Yeah. So like I said, there's still one main world line that they're following. So that's why the relationship between them didn't change, even though so much has changed already. Flat is just... Well, if Ruka is going, does that count as just the girls? Hmm? Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh? Huh? Oh, so in this world, Ruka? Yeah, you... Dude, there's better ways to do this. Okay. So are we gonna kind of get her story now? A badge? Hmm. Just like that. Hmm. Hmm. I still hold on to my theory that she is either from the future or somehow knows of the, time travels and timelines and stuff. Cooking argument. Why? 'I'm watching you? Jello? Pudding? Or is it... I guess it's a reference to that, that gel-like substance? Oh, finally getting some Okabe backstory. I'm really curious what made him the way he is today. Like, it's obviously an act, and I think he knows that this is an act, right? Actually, I already confirmed that in the beginning few episodes. You know what? I have this very suspicious feeling that eventually they are going to go back and revisit this event that Mayuri is describing right now. Huh. What if he was supposed to die in that timeline? I don't think that's. Wait, but so she's a girl now, but she still uses boku? Hmm. Okay. This seems like a good use of his character right now. Time machine for him? Oh, a claymore? Oh. So it is a claymore. Okay, what is it? It's just like stuff to absorb moisture or something? Oh. Or is it humidify? To warm a dryer? Uh, oh. Oh. Can you really even call it a lab? Mm. Oh. I know this is really supposed to be heartwarming right now, but where are the others? Oh.
水入らずの時間を過ごしてるんじゃない？
どちらにしてもラボには来いと言ったはずなのだが、しかしこの時間ではもう遅い。作戦は中止だ。お前たちは
Goodbye. And of course it's raining.
このまま一人寂しくこの町を離れるつもりなのか。
What?
この法王に京馬が許さん。
But it's... If you really wanted to change the past, aren't there more things you should change? Mm. 0.33? Wait. What? Ah, see? Huh? Wait, the past few times that he changed the past, it was still the exact same place. What? Alright, now it's her story next? Alright. Alrighty, so another quite interesting episode, and actually quite a bit to talk about for this episode, especially in pertaining to Okabe's character. So let's just start off with that, right? So first of all, within this episode, we kind of know a little bit more about, why Okabe is the way he is, why he's doing the things that he's doing, and what he truly wants, right? He sort of opened up a little bit within this episode, especially during that closet scene with Kurisu, right? So he really just wants to surround himself with friends, and judging from all his past actions and up to now, it seems that to him, his friends being beside him is one of the most important things to him, right? Like, sure, he has this mad scientist act and all that, but as we know, that is just an act. It's just a facade, right? And in fact, I've been saying I've actually said this since the first few episodes, right? He is clearly understanding of how eccentric he is actually acting, and he knows that this is not normal behavior. He knows that this is behavior that will get ridiculed or shamed in normal society, but he's choosing to do it anyways, right? And this is evidenced by the fact that, like, I remember, I believe in the first 3 episodes or something, when he was harassing Kurisu, and then she was like, I'm going to sue you for, or call you out for sexual harassment, and he's like, later on, he tried to resolve the situation, right? So he knows what he's doing isn't correct, I guess you could say, but he's choosing to put up this act as well. But, deep down, what he really cares about is just his friends. And, this is also evidenced by both what he's been doing so far in regards with the D-mail, and as well as with Suzu within this episode, right? So, originally I was thinking, hey, from last episode to here, the last email really changed too much, right? Akihabara is completely different from what he is used to. A lot of, it's quite the change, right, compared to his old past. And I thought that he might have wanted to try and fix it, but apparently not, right? Well, I thought about why he didn't want to, and the more I think about it, the more I came to the conclusion that probably because he cares about Ferris, right? And if this is something that Ferris wants, well, he's gonna go along with it. So, as long as the relationships don't change, as long as he's still friends with Ferris, as long as he's still friends with the people that he knows, she's like, okay, I don't care about anything else, right? And so, I think that is why it is the way he is. He's not doing this for other people. I mean, he's not doing this for other motives. He's just doing it to anyway, his number one priority is to keep the relationships with his friends, right? And that is why, even though he didn't do anything to try and change back Akihabara to the way it was, he decided to use it again to fix his relationship with Suzu, right? He didn't want her to leave. So, that is that part as well. And what did I say, right? Suzu definitely, what? I still believe that she is John Titor, right? I think it was in episode, I can't remember, episode 6 or episode 5, somewhere in the beginning, right, where I think she got a little too overeager on what John Titor had to say, as well as a little bit too overeager to correct Okabe when he sort of refuted some of Titor's sayings. It's either her or her father, right? It's either one of those two. And again, I'm still sticking to my theory that she probably, if not coming from the future, at least knows events of the future in some sort of way. Alright, so that's Suzu's part. And then the other thing about Okabe is we also got that little anecdote between, as said by Mayushi, right? Where, when Okabe was young, he was, having a fever, being sick, and then, the entire story about wishing upon a shooting star and whatnot. Now, yeah, it's cute and all, but somehow I feel like, this anecdote is not here for no reason. It's got to have some sort of significance, right? Okabe came to the conclusion that was the time when he got his, what does he call it? Steiner's eye? Or whatever? Whatever. His ability to sense, his ability to retain memories even though the world lines change, right? So, yeah, that's probably true. But again, I somehow have this sneaking suspicion that he was probably meant to die during that time, and instead the world line shifted to one where he didn't die. Although it is kind of far-fetched, and the reason that I'm not entirely sure about this is because, hey, it's just a fever. Is he really in any life-threatening danger? If he was, he would be at the hospital or something, right? So I'm not entirely sure about that part, but it seems ripe for this kind of situation where he gets, he was supposed to die, but didn't die in the end. And I also have this sneaking suspicion that probably they are going to go revisit this event later on in the future, once I assume eventually they will figure out how to actually transport or teleport actual people back to the past as well. I still do believe that is something that's going to happen. Although it would be fun if you could still only transfer information. But no, I still believe that it's probable that they'll figure out a way to transport humans, and so they're probably going to be revisiting that scene. It seems fairly monumental in terms of this series, especially since that was the time when he first got his abilities, right? And also probably I do want to learn a little bit more about Okabe, like why he is the way he is right now, why he's putting up this front. I somehow feel like that might be important as well, including pertaining to why he eventually got this ability. But we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, so I believe that's everything. And one final theory that I have, especially with the ending, with the butterfly flapping its wings, right? I somehow think that that's sort of hinting to us that there's still more changes that we haven't seen yet, that Okabe hasn't noticed yet, and maybe these small changes will eventually culminate into something big once again, right? Although, yeah, I think that is inevitable, that something like that will happen. Alright, so beyond that, there's actually something... Oh, and there's also, there's that, threatening message as well, right? But I have nothing to go on that, so I'm not even going to attempt to dissect or predict anything from that. At the very least, I know that it's not the same mysterious message that Okabe received in the first episode, but yeah, I got nothing on that. I got nothing. We'll just have to see, right? If there's anything I want to say, it's that the attachment within that male, that red jello looking thing. Obviously, I feel like that is a reference to the gel that happens, jellification that happens, but also the name of the attachment seems to be written in Chinese pinyin. So not quite sure, but like I said, we'll wait until more info is here, right? And one final thing to say is more like trivia, right? So within this episode, Mayoshi mentions flat is justice, right? And so originally I was like happy, hey, it's using a meme or something. But then I researched a little further, and I actually think this is the first instance of flat is justice, the origin of this meme. Now, obviously, in Japan, having these sort of sayings in regards to flat-chested girls Steinsgate isn't the first one. As far as I know from doing some research, apparently it came from Shuffle, the visual novel Shuffle first, and then later on was also popularized by the anime series Lucky Star. But in specific, they use different terms, right? Specifically, the term in Japanese, it's basically flat-chested is justice, or flat-chested girls are justice. And then I believe in the subs they simply translate it into flat is justice. And obviously this is a hugely popular meme nowadays in the West, right? So I do believe that Steinsgate probably can be credited with creating this meme, if you will. So the more you know, right? The more you know. Alrighty, so it's Friday, I got some time, I'm gonna go ahead and watch another one, so I will see you guys right in the next one with a continuation viewing. So stay tuned, and see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.